It is such a pleasure to meet so many new people who are so warm and dynamic, who really made me feel so welcome. I must admit that when I go back to Kuala Lumpur, I will not complain about our traffic. My name is Nan, but many years ago, I was actually Christian as Zainod Samad. Born and bred in Malaysia, and I come from a very large family, and they gave me this nickname Nan, but with only one A. In the past 30 years, I'm known to the young children and the teachers as Auntie Nan. I must admit that early childhood education came to me rather late in life, because the first 10 years of my working experience was really in Unilever Malaysia in Kuala Lumpur. And during that time of 10 years, from internship to management, the journey was bumpy, and I met so many disagreeable adults. I found myself giving warning letters, resignation letters, or termination letters, or counseling many adults whom I thought would at least conduct themselves better in an international organization. When happiness became elusive, I decided to quit and work with children. I was privileged to be in a college founded by Dr. Maria Montessori. I decided, all right, I should embark on this study of young children, because all I knew about them was through the little ones that I used to care for, the little sisters, and I wanted to know much more about how they tick. The word is tick. I am really inspired by this remarkable woman, a doctor, an anthropologist, a psychologist, and an educationist, who was born in the 19th century, researched and established her method in the 20th century, and we are now in the 21st century. Her legacy lives on. I was privy to a wonderful Montessori environment just 2 days ago, right here in Bangalore. And indeed, Maria Montessori's legacy lives on in almost all the classrooms in Head Start School. 50 years of her life, of Dr. Maria Montessori's life, was devoted to education. Her books, her lectures stress that there is a remarkable force in the human being, and this force, which she termed as the energy from the psychic embryo, is most powerful during the first phase of human development, the childhood phase, from birth to 6. In the second phase of childhood, this force, she said, stabilizes, and in the phase of adolescence, it weakens, and research has revealed that antisocial behavior of adolescents rests on the weak foundation during the infant phase. Dr. Montessori said, "Childhood has shown me that humanity is one race, one class, and one society. All children, whichever continent they come from, they grasp, they crawl, they stand, they walk, they talk, at more or less the same time. No matter what their race, they all sound so alike when they babble. All children from birth have a mind which she termed as the absorbent mind. This absorbent mind can take in language, religion, customs, and the peculiarities of the environment the child grows in. This magical mind can take in all elements, good and damaging. By just being there, some neuroscientists have actually named this mind the social organ. And the scientist claims that it is just a mere 1.4 kg, but it really thrives on communication, experiences to ignite the connections of the 1 billion neurons in the brain. Research has also revealed that if the child comes from a very educated family, he can gain an understanding of more than 1,500 words by the time he is 3 years old. However, he must hear 3,000 words. Unfortunately, children from deprived families gain a mere 100 words, and this really depends on what he hears. Dr. Montessori said, children constructs with what it finds. If the material is poor, the construction is poor. 108 years ago, Dr. Montessori created a first classroom for 60 underprivileged children from 2.5 years to 6 years old in a little place, in a poor place called San Lorenzo in Rome. And she called it the children's house. Well, she called it Casa dei Bambini in Italian, which really means the children's house. And this classroom is known today as the prepared environment. She designed all the furniture, including a little sofa, scaled down to children's height. She designed many materials, beautiful ones, to sit on the shelves. She classified all the materials in 5 areas. She called the first one practical life activities. And these activities are to develop the child's hand-eye coordination, independence, concentration span, and confidence. She developed sensorial materials that really are to refine the senses. She also developed mathematical materials because she felt that children really need to be prepared to fit and adapt into the world, the mathematical world, sensorial world, and a world full of language, and a world full of complexities. And it was in this setting that she saw the true nature of young children. They are individuals, she stressed. They are individuals to be respected, and they have their own personalities. They have this wonderful absorbent mind and mathematical mind, and they really thrive in an ordered, structured environment. They go through sensitive periods when learning becomes easy, and they learn through imitation. They have an inner drive, and which is capable of self-teaching. As the child has the propensity to learn, she said, we must give all children the world, a sense of the world, but a clear picture of mankind in the world. She included learning of good manners, learning care of self, care of the environment, biology, botany, zoology, geography, history, mathematics, language, and sensory education were all very much part of Maria Montessori's curriculum. These classified learning materials were well thought of, produced with love and affection. They were concrete and simple to handle. She, in fact, designed 2 beautiful globes that fitted the child's hands: the land and water globe and the continent globe, and lots of puzzle maps of countries of the world. Sustainability projects were very much part of the children's life in the children's house. Nature walks, recycling, reusing of things became a normality in the Casa dei Bambini. Today, thousands of children's houses are duplicated around the world. 22,000 when I Googled last. Some Montessori children's house were duplicated in many countries. Some duplicated accurately or, exactly. Some duplicated, not quite fully. That is because Maria Montessori didn't patent her curriculum. In fact, she said, "Whatever I've done, I hope all the educators of the world will extend it." And because she said that, there were many educators who adapted her method and continued stimulating the children that way. Always with a prepared environment, developmentally appropriate for young children, and of course, the loving person in the environment. Maria Montessori called her the directress. And this directress is really the dynamic link between the child and the environment. And this directress truly is the educator. Her goal is to direct the child towards self-regulation. She has to transform her attitude, shed her prejudices, and focus on the child's inherent energy towards purposeful activities. She respects the child as an individual. She's a keen observer and constantly giving inspiring lessons in a lively way. She prepares and maintains the environment. She is warm and encouraging and supports each child's pace of learning with no judgment. She challenges the child who is ready. She is the perfect role model. In her lifetime, Dr. Maria Montessori motivated and trained many young women to fit into this role. In my 30 years of learning Montessori, I am privileged to be able to see good things, positive things happening in many, many classrooms. There's always constant communication and engagement. From timid and wild as they were before, the children became sociable and communicative. Little by little, the children were choosing their own work and focusing on the activities that they have chosen. They focused on it deeply, completing the process and finally replacing them back on the shelf as they were shown. The transformation they underwent was noticeable. Their personalities grew. They showed extraordinary understanding, vivacity, and confidence. They thrived on routine, tidiness, communal meals, and above all, freedom to move, freedom to choose, freedom to express themselves, and freedom to work at their own pace in a non-competitive environment. Rules were respected and harmony prevails. They observe good manners spontaneously. Their social and intellectual capabilities were evident. These compassionate children with a caring, respectful nature have a positive self-image. They have a positive self-image. These are the qualities that give them a start in primary school. However, Dr. Maria Montessori's educational objectives are far-reaching than that. Educators, her vision is that one day these children, with their positive self-image, will become ethical, compassionate adults who will lead the world towards peace and harmony. Remember, Dr. Maria Montessori lived through 2 world wars. Her schools in Italy were closed by a very disagreeable dictator. She was banished from her country. She recovered emotionally right here in this country, India, to be precise, in Chennai. And it was in Chennai, surrounded by caring people who respected her work. It was in Chennai that she continued transmitting her message that education of children should really be for life. Education for children should really be for peace. She was nominated 3 times for the Nobel Peace Prize. One message that I will always remember, and this I will repeat, as educators of young children, she said, we have an important responsibility. If we believe that education is for life and for peace, our role as educators is significant in nurturing the youngest citizens of the world. I would like to dedicate a poem that's written by a fellow educator, and I would be happy if all of you can read it with me. If a child lives with criticism, he learns to condemn. If a child lives with hostility, he learns to fight. If a child lives with ridicule, he learns to be shy. If a child lives with shame, he learns to feel guilty. If a child lives with tolerance, he learns to be patient. If a child lives with encouragement, he learns confidence. If a child lives with praise, he learns to appreciate. If a child lives with fairness, he learns justice. If a child lives with security, he learns to have faith. If a child lives with approval, he learns to like himself. If a child lives with acceptance and friendship, he learns to find love in the world. Thank you.